Hi to you all. Welcome you all to the lecture series in political theory. I'm Professor H. Srikanth. Today, I'll be introducing to you the ideas of Frantz Fanon, who is now viewed as one of the early post-colonial thinkers. Frantz Fanon was not only a philosopher, psycho-analyst, but also an Algerian revolutionary who actively participated in the national movement against the French occupation of Algeria. He was influenced by Freud, Sartre, Aimé Césaire. His works, Black Skins and White Masks, and The Wretched of the Earth, focused on collective mental illness created by juxtaposition of black and white races. He observed that many of his patients suffered from anxiety, withdrawal symptoms, suicidal tendencies, self-hate, and aggression. Fanon says that it was not because of childhood experiences, as the Western psychologists make us believe. All these aberrations had their roots in colonial exploitation and subjugation of the blacks. Fanon's works discuss the formation, meaning, and effects of blackness. The white people believed in racial superiority. They essentialized all blacks as infantile, primitive, and uncivilized. They fear, abhor, and mock at the blacks. At best, some may pity and patronize them. Fanon says that the white gaze basically seeks to dominate, control, and dehumanize the Negroes. The blacks, who are subject to the colonial domination, suffer from pathological alienation and a sense of identity crisis. The black man hates being a black and tries to change his language, culture, and dress to get himself accepted by the whites. He apes the whites unsuccessfully. The whites only mock at them and never recognize them as equals. Hence, the black continue to suffer from inferiority complex. The colonial domination actually in Africa led to a movement which came to be known as Negritude. In different African countries, it was there in 1950s and 60s, where the blacks began to assert their blackness to fight white racism. Instead of feeling bad, they started saying, yes, I am black, I am proud of it. But Fanon was skeptical about this strategy of reversing the stereotypes. While the whites say black is inferior, now the blacks say we are no inferior, we are as good as you or better than you. Hmm? Actually, this kind of assertion even was welcomed by Jean-Paul Sartre, the French revolutionary. But Fanon differed with Sartre's belief in the revolutionary potentiality of negritude in creating a raceless and classless society. He believed that negritude only reinforces racial stereotypes. It does not provide adequate foundation for black identity. See, this kind of situation, we have it even in India, where the Dalits were looked down upon for several centuries by the upper caste. As a reaction, now there is also a Dalit assertion where the Dalit activists start saying that we are proud of being Dalits, and and they indict the Brahmins and the upper caste and assert their own identity as Dalits. But whether that kind of identity helps the Dalits or not is the question. And similar experience you have it in Africa, where the blacks started asserting their identity as blacks and pitting them against the whites, and started talking about unity of all blacks across the nations. So that kind of movement was not accepted by Fanon. Rather, Fanon appealed to the blacks to come out of the tyrannies of the past exploitation and present degradations. He gave a call to the blacks to cast off the mask, all masks, the white mask and all the black mask, and strive to be a free human being. So Frantz Fanon is actually considered as now he's the post-colonial thinkers own him as one of his brand intellectual. But it needs to be mentioned that his works preceded the works of scholars who identified themselves as post-colonial thinkers. He was not a third world scholar working in elite Western academia. He was no privy to the ideas of postmodernism and post-structuralism, which became philosophical pillars of post-colonial studies in the 80s and 90s. Fanon's ideas actually are original and emanated from practice. His practice as a psycho-analyst and as a revolutionary. Post-colonial scholars may identify with his ideas, but Fanon as such never claimed to be one among them. His theory and practice did play an important role in advancing the cause of the blacks against colonialism. And hence, his works need to be evaluated for its continued relevance in contemporary times. I hope this introduction encourages you to go through his works, which are easy to understand compared to those of post-colonial scholars who became famous after 1980s. Let me know what you think about this lecture. If you feel that my lectures are useful, I request you to subscribe to this channel and encourage other like-minded scholars and students to listen to my lectures. Thank you very much, and see you soon with another lecture on another topic.